How do you build an estimating department in your company? Well, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. My name is Daniel Quindemil. I'm the founder of I Am Builders. I'm a construction consultant and I specialize in helping contractors grow their construction business. And today we're going to talk about the 3 ways to estimate projects and the 3 ways that you can build your team. I Am Builders, when we started our services by purely being an estimating company. Our vision was to help contractors grow their construction business by estimating projects because I saw a huge need in the industry that contractors were just like crazy busy, like no time to estimate. Every time my phone rings, I always hear the same thing. It's like a repeat thing. It's like, I'm too busy. I can't keep up with my jobs. I'm leaving money on the table, or I don't know how to estimate, or you know what? I'm a one-man show, or we're a small company, so I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to build my team. And what happens is most contractors, they get sucked into what I call the vicious cycle. There's two really terrible things that happen to contractors. Is 1, the vicious cycle, and 2, it's called the yo-yo effect. So this is what I call the vicious cycle. So if you're a contractor, you're probably crazy busy. You don't have time to bid jobs. You're probably missing out on bids. You're leaving money on the table. And you, at some point you say, man, I got to hire someone. So you want to hire someone, but in order to hire them, you have to bid more jobs. So you try to bid more jobs, but then you realize you don't have any time. So how can you hire someone if you don't have the time to bid jobs to hire them? So it's like this vicious cycle that you can never get out of. And then the second thing that happens is the yo-yo effect. If you happen to somehow manage to bid projects at night or on the weekend or after work, after working a long day, you say, you know what, I'm going to open up the plans on the kitchen table and I'm going to bid the jobs here. What happens is when you're not busy, you bid a bunch of jobs and there's a gestation period of 3 to 6 months. A gestation period is like a period of time that in the back end, there's a financing process, there's a VE, value engineering, revisions, things that are happening on the behind the scenes that it takes about 6 months to get a project awarded. You have to start building a pipeline today. And what most contractors do is when they're not busy, they bid because they have all the time in the world. But 3 to 6 months later, those jobs start hitting. Boom, boom, boom. It's what's called the law of large numbers. By probability, even if you were a terrible estimator, as long as your number is somewhere in the range, you're going to get jobs. You're going to get some jobs, even if your closing rate is low, but you're going to start getting jobs. So if you bid, what happens is you're going to start closing jobs. And what happens to almost every single contractor is when they get busy, they stop bidding the jobs, or they slow down their production on the estimating. And what happens is then they stop filling their pipeline. But they don't see the results of this till 6 months after they stop, when they start running out of jobs. And they're like, oh my gosh, like I'm running out of jobs. I'm not going to be able to meet payroll. My people are going to leave. And you know what the worst thing that happens is in construction, when your crews, when your workers, when your subs employees, when they start sniffing that there's no jobs coming up, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to dip. They're going to leave on you. They're going to go find the next person. And nowadays in construction that we have like a shortage of labor pretty much nationwide, those guys have options. So you don't want to let those guys go. You don't want to be stuck doing all the work yourself because now you just had to let go of your people because you run out of work. So that's called the yo-yo effect. And what happens is everybody's busy. So they go through this vicious cycle that they know they have to bid more jobs, but they're too busy. They stay in this like never ending cycle where they get more jobs and they run out of jobs and then they can never really grow their business. So what's the solution? You have to build a team. Hey, if you're finding value in this video, go ahead and subscribe below so you get notified every time we release a new video so we can help you grow your construction business. So there's 3 ways to estimate. 1 is you estimate yourself, which we just talked about. We just talked about how amazing estimating yourself is, right? Where you're stuck working nights and weekends, you're giving up your family time, you're working a full day in the sun, in the heat, and then you come home and then you have to keep estimating till 1 in the morning. That's doing it yourself. Number 2, you can hire and build a team, which is the preferred way. The preferred way is that in the long run that you can build a team. So there's 2 ways to do it. 1, you can hire experienced people. You can go to Indeed, you can go to ask around, hey, do you know any estimators? Now, what happens is estimators are one of the highest paid people in construction. So smaller contractors typically have a very difficult time, 1, meeting the payroll, because obviously now you got to sell a lot of jobs. Or 2, if you're a highly trained or highly skilled estimator, you've been in the business for 5-10 years and you know what you're doing, your salary is going to be high. So you're going to be looking for like benefits and medical and security, right? But imagine you get a call from a small contractor, like a one-man show, that says, hey, you want to come over and, leave your career job and take a chance at my company because, we can grow together. That's a really hard sell. So a lot of times smaller contractors have a tough time. There is a lot of value of having an estimator in your office, because what happens is you need someone that can go to job site meetings, that can go visit clients, that can take jobs through the finish line, that can negotiate those jobs, that can go through scope reviews, that can go to the client's offices, that can go to the job sites when there's issues, things like that. Like, you need someone there, like someone that can help you sell, basically. But there's a river. It's like a river that you have to cross, where you need this $100,000 a year salary, or most estimators are $80,000 to $100,000 a year, but most people can't afford that in the beginning. So like, how do you do it? How do you get from here to here? How do you cross this river? Hey, how are you doing your estimating? Do you have a team, or are you outsourcing it? Go ahead and put your comment below. The strategy that we always recommend is automating your estimating. And the way you do that is using on-demand estimating services. We started our business, and now we do consulting and we do training and we do a bunch of stuff. But when we first started, everything that we did was estimating. We still do estimating today because it's still the biggest need above everything. Estimating is the most challenging part of almost every single contractor's life. So our contractors, in the beginning, what you do is, the goal that we work with everyone on is, we start on demand. So you can literally place an order and you say, hey, I'm bidding 3 jobs this month, or I'm bidding 10 jobs this month, or whatever amount of jobs you want to bid. We estimate them on demand. You don't have to worry about sitting there for hours. Estimating can take 8, 10, 20, 24 hours sometimes on jobs. Big jobs can take a lot longer. And we actually estimate the whole thing. So at the end, all you do is tweak your numbers and then you submit your proposals. So it's basically like an on-demand, as needed. And what you do is you do that for a period of time, for 6 months to a year, while you're building up your systems. And there is actually a way that you can get it completely free for you by building it into your estimating costs. So if you know that it's going to take you 5-10 bids to acquire a project, what you do is you build in what your estimated costs are, what your expected costs to win that project are, and then you put them into all your bids. Boom, 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 boom. We call it the self-liquidating estimating strategy. It's how you get your estimating done completely free. And I can show you how to do that. This is part of our frameworks. So you bid a bunch of jobs and on demand. And what happens is, now you're going to have the salary and you're going to have the payroll to pay for that additional overhead. And then you start hiring your first estimator, and the next one, and the next one, the next one. Then eventually you build a team. And that's the overall goal, where you build a team, and then the on-demand estimating becomes an overflow. And then as needed, depending on how fast you want to grow, you can do on-demand estimates and then hire another guy. On-demand estimates, hire another guy. And then it's like a little ladder that you're climbing. And eventually you cross this river, and now you have a team that you're constantly estimating, and you never run out of jobs. So that is the secret to never running out of jobs and bidding unlimited projects, by building your estimating team. If you want to learn exactly how to grow your construction business, go ahead and watch my free training. There's a link below where we're going to show you how to get leads, how to estimate the project, how to close them. I'm going to show you step by step our 8-figure contractor framework, where I'm going to share with you how to automate your estimating, how to do basically everything that you learned today. This is just a little tiny piece of the framework. I want to share exactly how to grow your construction business the right way. So go ahead and click below, or go to iambuilders.com/training.